absence of a birthday gift from Jungkook to Jimin is explored, revealing a deeper narrative than what might be initially perceived. The true reasons behind this decision are unveiled, providing insight into their unique bond and delighting dedicated fans. Jungkook didn't give Jimin a birthday gift. What? Before you jump to conclusions, there's a fascinating story behind this snub that only true ARMYs will understand. It's not what you think, and it actually reveals something incredibly special about their relationship. The fan frenzy, initial reactions and speculation. Recap the immediate online buzz and fan theories when it was noticed Jungkook didn't give Jimin a traditional birthday gift. Showcase screenshots/clips of fan tweets, comments, and forum discussions asking why no gift. Briefly touch on common assumptions made by fans, e.g., forgotten, busy schedule, secret gift. But this year something felt off. Something hurt. There was no post. No birthday wish. No playful photo or message. Jungkook, the one who usually finds quiet but meaningful ways to show his heart, said nothing. Not a word. Not even a like. And that silence spread across the fandom like a quiet heartbreak. Fans immediately began asking questions. What happened between them? Did something go wrong? Was the silence deliberate, or was it absence? For those who had followed their story for years, the stillness was almost unbearable, like a missing piece in a song that once played so beautifully. Yet, as it always goes with Jimin and Jungkook, the truth wasn't what it seemed. Because Jungkook's silence wasn't coldness, it was warmth in disguise. It wasn't distance, it was closeness hidden behind the comfort of privacy. In the days leading up to Jimin's birthday, Jungkook had grown quieter than usual. He deleted old posts. He avoided questions about the other members. His live streams became shorter, softer, more introspective. Then one night he picked up his guitar and began to hum. The melody was unfamiliar, fragile, haunting, sincere. And then came one line that made hearts freeze around the world. A promise that doesn't need a stage. It was barely a whisper, almost accidental. But fans who truly know their story felt the sting of recognition. It wasn't random. It wasn't a lyric meant for anyone else. Sounded like a message. One that didn't need to be tagged, one that didn't need to be seen to be understood. And that's how Jungkook speaks. Through music. Through feeling. Through the things he doesn't say. When Jimin's birthday finally arrived, Jungkook was completely absent online. No livestream. No Weverse post. No comment. Nothing. Fans searched for clues, but there were none. It felt like he'd vanished from the digital world. And yet, somehow his presence lingered in the silence. Jimin, on the other hand, appeared calm. Maybe too calm. He smiled, thanked ARMY and the members who had sent their wishes, but his tone was reflective. Then, on Weverse, he wrote something that stopped everyone in their tracks. "I'm grateful for people who don't need to say much to show that they care." It was subtle. Simple. But to those who understood, it was everything. Because if there was anyone who fit that description perfectly, it was Jungkook. In that quiet line, Jimin seemed to be answering the question the whole fandom had been asking. He wasn't waiting for a post. He wasn't disappointed. He already knew. Jungkook didn't need to show his affection publicly, because their connection exists beyond visibility. It reminded fans of something similar back in 2020, when Jungkook also didn't post anything for Jimin's birthday. Later, it was revealed that he had privately recorded an acoustic version of Jimin's song Promise. A gift only Jimin heard. No cameras. No hashtags. Just two people, one song, and a love language made of silence. That's who Jungkook is. He doesn't perform emotions, he protects them. And maybe that's exactly what happened this year. After years of relentless shipping wars, speculation, and invasive analysis, maybe Jungkook didn't want to turn Jimin's birthday into another circus. Maybe his silence wasn't neglect, but a form of shielding. A quiet message that said, "You deserve peace." Not noise. But silence, when it comes to them, always speaks louder than words. During Jimin's birthday live, fans noticed a brief pause, just a moment, when Jimin listed the members who had messaged him. He smiled softly, the kind of smile that didn't belong to the camera but to a memory. Then, almost under his breath, he said, "Some things are better left between two people." And the fandom knew. Days later, Jimin went live again. He laughed, sang, and without realizing it, began humming the exact same melody Jungkook had played days earlier. The one with the lyric about a promise that doesn't need a stage. Fans couldn't believe it. It was the same tune, the same emotion, the same unspoken message. They weren't talking publicly, but they were still communicating. Through melodies, through timing, through a kind of emotional telepathy that only they seemed to understand. 4 years, Jimin and Jungkook's bond has lived in the quiet. In the half-glances on stage, the gentle shoulder touches, the moments when one looks at the other and just knows. They've never needed grand gestures or big announcements. Their connection breathes in the silence between words. So maybe Jungkook didn't post this year because he no longer needs to. Maybe he's realized that the bond they share isn't something to prove anymore. It's something to protect. Because when love matures, it stops asking for attention. It simply exists. They've lived their entire adult lives under the harshest spotlight imaginable. Every word, every glance, every move, dissected, magnified, twisted. For people like that, privacy isn't just a choice, it's survival. So maybe the most meaningful gift Jungkook could give Jimin this year wasn't wrapped or posted. Maybe it was the gift of quiet, the absence of chaos, the space to breathe. There's a kind of love that doesn't need to be seen to be real. The kind that doesn't scream but whispers. The kind that doesn't ask for proof because the heart already knows. Maybe that's what Jungkook was giving. While the world waited for a photo or caption, he gave Jimin something infinitely more precious. Peace. Because love isn't always about saying, I care. Sometimes it's about knowing when to stay silent, when to protect, when to simply be. Perhaps they met privately. Perhaps they exchanged something personal. A smile, a song, a memory. The real gifts between them have never been for the public anyway. They happen in the quiet where only two hearts can hear. Jimin once said, "The people who know me best are the ones who don't need to ask too many questions." And Jungkook once said, "Sometimes I don't have to say anything. They already know." Put those two truths together and you can see it, the invisible thread that's always connected them. So when fans ask why Jungkook didn't give Jimin a birthday gift this year, maybe the answer isn't that he didn't care. Maybe the truth is that he gave something that doesn't fade, doesn't need to be posted, and doesn't belong to the world. Because the most beautiful gifts aren't always seen, they're felt. And maybe that's the real story behind Jungkook's silence. A quiet promise, private love, a connection that doesn't need a stage, only understanding.